Alex here with another review, and this time we're taking a look at 70mi's brand new A810S dashcam. Now this is the upgraded version of their popular A810 model, and 70mi has done some big changes to address some of the weaknesses found on the A810. So first I'll show you what you get inside of the kit, I'll walk you through its features including the app, and then we'll take a look at some driving video to see how well it actually performs. And I placed a link in the description down below to this dashcam if you'd like to get one for yourself. And the A810S features a 3-inch screen, which is the same size as what we had in the prior A810. And while form factor and size is about the same for these dashcams, there are some key differences. Starting off with the LED indicator on the A810, notice where it's located on the bottom of the dashcam. On the A810S, the LED indicator has been moved from here to here, and now it's a small little dot. And there are more noticeable changes on the right hand side. The rear camera connector has been upgraded to USB-C. Power also USB-C for both of them. Memory card bay used to support 256 gigabytes of memory. It now supports 512 gigs of memory on the A810S, and we also get an additional speaker grill. Front camera view angle is adjustable, and it continues to support the optional circular polarizer filter for those that are looking to eliminate reflections from the windshield. And the rear camera retains its original size, but it has received a massive improvement in the form of a Sony Starvis 2 IMX662 image sensor, and the camera supports 360-degree rotation for adjusting the view angle, but also to allow for mounting against a vertical surface like the rear window on a pickup truck. And this is the rear camera extension cable. We get a similar cable for power, and they included this automotive adapter which has two USB ports, one for the dashcam and a spare one. Moving over to mounting, I'm gonna go ahead and peel this back. Then I can place this on the windshield. Mount also allows removal of the dashcam if needed. And this is the 70mi A810S dual channel dashcam. And the dashcam is going to turn on automatically when you turn on the vehicle, and it's going to show you the front view and also the rear view on the split view. We know we are recording by that red blinking dot, and then we got some date and time information. Additionally, you can switch the views with this button right here. Here's that rear view, front view, and back to the rear view, and then to a split view. And the second button right here allows us to flag and protect the section of the video that is currently recorded as important. And the third button allows us to enter into the playback menu. Now here you can see all the videos or only emergency videos or parking surveillance videos, including time-lapse video and any photos that you may have taken. I'm gonna tap on all videos. Now to play back the video, all you have to do is select the video, do the check mark, the video begins to play back automatically. You can also at this point choose to delete the video with the trash icon. But we also get voice commands. Let's try them out. Take photo. Turn off audio. That is if you want to have a top secret conversation. Record audio. And that re-enables the microphone. And there's a couple more voice commands supported, which I'll show you in a little bit. Moving over to the fun stuff, that is the settings with this last button right here. And let's go inside of video settings. And here you can set the resolution at 4K with HDR, or you could choose to disable that if you wanted to, or lower the resolution if you wanted to fit more on your memory card, or to get an increase on frames per second, which can help you capture fast-moving objects like license plates. There's also customization for the items, the watermarks that are shown on the video, such as the 70mi logo, the speed watermark, coordinates watermark, which comes from the GPS. And you can also flip the view of the rear camera horizontally with the mirror option, or vertically with the flipping option. Next up, we got parking security, which is park mode. It does require the optional hardwire key to enable this, and you are able to select up to how many hours of duration you want to park mode, or set that to unlimited park mode. And we get 3 park mode types. First one is going to be impact detection, which is customizable as far as the sensitivity. This is what is going to tell the dashcam when to record an incident based on how sensitive of an impact you want to detect during parking mode. Now the second option is going to be motion detection, and it is also customizable as far as the sensitivity of detecting motion while in park mode. And finally, you got the option of enabling time-lapse photography for park monitoring.
Moving over to Smart Travel, here's where you find the dashcam's G sensor, which allows it to detect when you get into a car crash, and the sensitivity of that sensor is adjustable. We also get ADAS, which is Advanced Driver Assistance, and this can give you warnings for things such as the front vehicle has started to move, lane departure, front vehicle collision, or if you have a pedestrian here about to collide with, rider collision. Sound can also be customized. You can turn off the startup sound, and you can also disable audio recording or adjust the speaker volume. And there's more customization under system settings. Here you can have the Wi-Fi turn on every time the dashcam turns on automatically. Not a lot of dashcams allow you to do this. You could also select a screensaver mode for the dashcam, so you can have it either show a clock, and this is what it's going to look like, and the dashcam is going to continue to record in the background, or you can have it show a speed screensaver. Again, here's what it will look like while the dashcam continues to record in the background, or you can have it turn off the screen completely while the dashcam continues to record in the background. And on the next page of settings, you can change the language, and there's quite a bit of languages in here to choose from in case you wanted to change it from the default one. I don't think I've seen a list this long in quite a bit. And you're also able to change the speed unit between miles per hour or kilometers per hour. But now that I've shown you the features of the dashcam, let's go ahead and move over to the app. And the app is called 70My, and it allows us to connect to the dashcam to get either a live view or to change the dashcam settings or get video files from it. You can see the view in a larger screen if you want to maximize that, and you can also cycle between the different views with this icon right here. Here's the rear view, and then tapping that one more time is going to take you back to the front. Additionally, there is this icon right here if you wanted to take a picture. And to play back the videos that are on the dashcam, you can tap on Album. The videos have been sorted out, all videos all together in one folder: emergency videos, parking mode videos, time-lapse videos, and photos, similar to what we saw on the dashcam. Let's go inside on all videos. You'll see two additional folders, one for the main camera and one for the rear camera. Let's look at the main camera, and I'm gonna go ahead and tap on one of them. The video begins to play back. Now you could always pause the video right here, or you can also enlarge it if you wanted to see it on a full screen. Now the advantage of the app is to be able to download the videos from the dashcam without having to remove the memory card from it. You will download them using this icon here, or you can delete them with this delete icon. Same thing with the settings. We know we can change them on the dashcam directly, but we can also change them via the app, and pretty much every single setting that I showed you on the dashcam is available on the app, which is a pretty cool thing if you like to use apps as opposed to using the screen on the dashcam. And this is an audio test of the 70My A810S dual channel dashcam, and I am sitting on the driver's side seat. And this is an audio test of the 70My A810S dual channel dashcam, and I am standing outside the driver's side door.
So should you go for the A810 or the newer A810S? Well, here's my opinion. The front image quality is gonna be slightly better on the new model thanks to updated image algorithms, but the real difference you will see is on the rear camera. The Starvis 2 sensor really improves the image quality, but it now also records in 30 frames per second instead of 25 frames per second. This results in smoother video, which also means a better chance at capturing license plates. But the other big change is park mode. The A810S can now capture before the incident takes place. Now this is what we call buffer park mode. Normal park mode is triggered when the incident takes place. So let's say your car is parked and somebody bumps into your vehicle, the dashcam is gonna turn on after detecting that impact, and then it's gonna begin recording. So you're not likely gonna have video of the actual impact, you're gonna have video of after the impact, which normally includes either somebody looking around to see what happened, and sometimes you can see them driving away. With buffer park mode, when the dashcam is triggered by an incident, the dashcam is gonna capture before the incident, giving you a chance of capturing the actual impact, and after the incident, giving you complete coverage of that park mode incident. And if you need even more coverage, you can also add remote live monitoring, basically being able to live stream video from your car, get notifications to your phone and more with their optional 4G hardwired kit. So I would say that the A810S is gonna be hands down the dashcam for me. In fact, with the current pricing special, this might be the best dashcam out there as far as bang for your buck. So I'll place that discount code to get that special pricing in the video description down below, along with a link to this dashcam if you'd like to get one for yourself. And if you guys have any other questions regarding this, please put that in the comments also. If you found any part of this video helpful, make sure you hit the like button to support the channel, and stay tuned as I have a lot more dashcam reviews coming up. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, I'll see you on the next one.